IQ stock. So the stock closed at $3.68 for the session of the 17th of May 2022, which was a gain of 7.92%, and 41.7 million shares crossed the tape, which is also above average. And during that session, the price rose through the 50-day moving average of $3.8 and above average volume, but didn't close there. You can see down here, just closed slightly below that moving average. And among the many things we are seeing is it's an update that Chinese internet stocks rise on easing regulation. US listed shares of Chinese technology companies rose, driven by signs of China easing its regulatory crackdown on the country's internet companies, while falling COVID-19 cases raised hopes of a boost to economic activity. Okay, so, and it says the vice premier of the country of China, Li He, told tech executives on Tuesday that the government supported the development of the sector and will back tech firms pursuing listings in the country and overseas. American depository receipts, which is mostly what some of these companies issue to investors outside China, or rather investors in the US, such as Baidu, Pinduoduo, Alibaba, IQ, IY Inc., and DD Global, rose between 5.5% and 13.5%. Okay, so the consensus between China's ruling body technology executives does seem to bring about expectations that a tech crackdown might be coming to an end, said Danny Hewson, an analyst at AJ Bell. And when it say, when you look at some of the valuations now, they look good by comparison to some of the US tech stocks, and there is a massive marketplace for them. Okay, so moving on to polls, they're saying that IQIYI, that is IQ stock, it has an $8 price target and overweight rating. This is from JP Morgan. It says shares of IQ stock have received an $8 price target from JP Morgan, and the analyst who we read his opinion concerning various Chinese stocks, Alex Yao, upgraded the IQ from underweight rating to an overweight rating, while increasing the price target from $2. Okay, Yao believes the Chinese internet sector share price will migrate from sentiments in the near term to fundamentals in the medium and long term. Okay, so IQIY shares is up 72% since the lowest low of March 15th of this year versus KWEB, which has gained 37% during the same period, mainly due to better sentiment on internet regulation and positive development in ADR, the listing risk. Okay, he believes the China long-form video industry has entered a new paradigm with meta platforms, Tencent Video, IQIY, Youku, are switching focus from aggressive expansion to profitability. According to Yao in a research note, so such a strategic refocus or focus shift is demonstrated by one, Tencent's video recent price hike on its monthly auto renewal membership on the 9th of April, and two, IQIY's recent change of online only movie cooperation method from upfront fee to revenue sharing based on actual movie performance, such as user rating / time spent. Therefore, they are positive on IQI's path to operations break-even in 2022, supported by content cost / operations savings. They forecast a non-GAAP operating loss of 7 million renminbi in the first quarter of 2022, and operations of 39 million renminbi in second quarter of 2022. In addition, they expect recent COVID to support IQI's overall traffic slash subscribers. They believe IQI's current valuation as attractive at 1.2% 2023 earnings EV slash sales, a discount to 2.7% to Mango Excellent, okay, and all that. So yeah, they're quite positive. But the folks at Motley Fool are saying Tencent, IQ, IY, Bilibili investors may want to wait until the companies report several quarters of financial results to get a better understanding of how any governmental policy changes affect the company's top line and bottom line. So these are all the things you have to digest, whether you are focusing on this stock for technical reasons or fundamental reasons. You do your due diligence. And you can see that IQ stock appears to be consolidating within a longer term downtrend. Shares are presently below the 200-day moving average, which is falling along with the 10-day moving average. However, the average directional index is below 20, indicating that the shares have exhibited sideways movement recently. It's also lagging the S&P 500. Momentum for IQ stock is strongly bullish. The 14-period low stochastic is rising as investors pay higher prices for the shares. The volume for that trading session was heavier than usual, trading for 1.715 million shares versus an average of 13.441 million shares per day during the last 12 months. The unbalanced volume indicator is bullish. The slope of the indicator is positive and suggests that buyers are presently more active than sellers. Yes, presently more active than sellers. Momentum, you can see that is improving. RSI, I believe, also is improving. It's improving. So gradually now buyers are getting more active than sellers. This is the unbalanced volume indicators. You can see the slope is positive, and then you can see that the stock is now above its 10 and 20-day moving averages, but just slightly below its 50-day moving average. And earlier on we told you it crossed above that 50-day moving average. All of these are positive bullish signs, and this is fourth day of gains for IQ stock. That is the 17th, made it the fourth day of consistent gains. So the 200-day moving average is also falling. So if it keeps on falling, the stock keeps rising, it might surpass it. So the stock has been bearish all through the last year. It's been bearish. You can see that the underlying trend is evidently and clearly sloping downwards. That's the 200-day moving average, which underlies the underlying trend. So on the option speed, it's a penny stock that's optionable. Things don't look so wonderful as such. Wonderful, I mean, the spreads on the stock, on the options are not, on the contracts are not so wonderful. They're not that wonderful. The only one I can actually see that looks just reasonable is this $3 puts on the May 20 series, and these are just going to expire in a few days. You can see the spread is just only 0.01. Outside that, the others are not that wonderful. Probably an indication that there isn't enough liquidity on the option speeds. Maybe with time, more and more market participants will get involved with the options. But as things stand now, we're not seeing that. But regardless, let's just go all the way down to June the 3rd and see what sort of directions market participants are pricing their moves. You can see the opening volume. Okay, let's use the open interests. Okay, the 450, the $4.5 calls on the June 3rd series has an open interest of 265. Maybe they're quite optimistic that it could get there. And he also saw 452 shares in that last trading session. Okay, and also has the $3 calls has a volume of 607, but open interest of 607. Obviously the stock is now above $3. So I think gradually maybe they are looking at $4.5. Let's move downwards and see whether we can get a better picture. We're now on the June 10th, not seeing very much there. As to the directions market participants are looking, Now we're looking at June 17th. Yes, it has more volumes here. You can see, yes, they are pointing towards $5. You can see that 14 open interest 14,629. So yeah, this is where we're supposed to be looking at. The spreads are slightly better there on that $4 call, on the $4 calls, slightly better, but I mean it can be better than what it is. It can be better. Okay, yes, you can see the 750 as well. It's also much better, yes. Indeed, also the $10 calls on this June 17 series. Okay, so I think yes, we have a better indication of what's going on, and these series are much more liquid. Okay, this $5 calls with this 14,629 open interest doesn't have a very nice spread at all, but that is also where the market participants are looking at. If I moved $5, okay, but there's a better opportunity at the 750 for those who want to scalp and all that stuff. So do we have any price target for IQ stock? Okay, let's see whether we can determine the price target. 3.85 and 2.57. let's see. 3.85 minus 2.57 give us a difference of 1.28 multiplied by 2.618. You can always use any Fibonacci extension level you want. Okay, so we add that to the closing price of 3.68 and we have a target of $7.03. Okay, so this is just our target based on in the very short term, so see what you make of IQ stock, and thank you very much for watching this video.